Hey guys, get ready with me while I talk about the date I went on 3 days ago and how I almost died. So I met this guy on TikTok. Actually, he DM'd me, and he didn't live too far from me. He actually has 2 apartments. He has one in Cortland, New York, and he has one in New York City. So we ended up adding each other on Snapchat, and he got my number, which I really liked. He asked me for my number first, and then we started Snapchatting, and he was just talking to me, and he seemed like such a nice guy. He was my type, perfect, 6'4", Italian, tattoos, very, very attractive, and he's very sweet. He said literally all the right things, perfect. I would have never expected this. So at this point in time, he was in Cortland, which was really close to me. So we went on a date, and before this date, he would ask me questions about my past relationship. He was like, has a guy ever bought you jewelry before? Has he done this? Has he done that? And I was like, no, no guy has ever bought me jewelry before, because they haven't. This man shows up on the date with this necklace, this ring, and this bracelet. They're all bows, which I was like, how does he know I like bows this much? I was so I wasn't weirded out, but I was kind of just how does he know? Anyways, he was such a gentleman on the first date, held the door open for me, paid for dinner, bought me flowers, obviously bought me a bunch of jewelry, which I was like, this is kind of weird, suspicious. This is the first time I've ever met this guy in person, and we've only been talking for a couple weeks. Why is he buying me all of this stuff already? When he was dropping me off, because I went home after the date, whatever, he was playing The Weeknd, Lana Del Rey, which are all my favorite artists, Drake. He was just playing all of that, which I also didn't tell him what kind of music I liked, and I was like, oh my god, you know who Lana Del Rey is? Because guys don't listen to Lana Del Rey. He's like, oh yeah, she's one of my favorite artists. And I told him to put on I think it was Cola, by her, and he's like, oh my god, this is my favorite song. I'm like, this is literally my favorite song, what? And then he put it on, and he literally didn't know any of the lyrics. So I was like what the fuck? I didn't want to make him feel bad, because I thought he was just being cute and trying to make it seem like we had the same music taste. But now that I think about it, it kind of just seems like he was studying me for weeks before we even hung out. I don't know. But after that date, we would call on the phone a lot, FaceTime a lot, text a lot. Also, he's 27, so I didn't really Snapchat him much, which I also really liked. I liked how mature he was, or how I thought he was. But we would just talk, and he'd be so loving, and be so affectionate, and so manly, and just being really super sweet and cute. And then after a couple days of us texting, he would start he started getting really weird, too much. He was like, I'm gonna marry you, I'm gonna propose to you soon, just straight weird stuff, I want to have babies soon. And I'm just I literally just got out of a relationship. I am not looking for that yet. That is just too much for me to talk about right now. I just can't. And he was like, oh, that's fine. I'll wait for you, as long as I can. I'll wait for you, as long as you want. And I was like, okay. And then a couple days go by, and we're still texting, because it's not weird enough for me to stop talking to him yet. And he's like, I'm going to my condo, I have some business to do, like, if you want to come with me, like, I'd really like to show you, like, my place. And I was like, yeah, like, yeah. So he picks me up. He's in Cortland, like, his other apartment, and we drive all the way to New York City. And, like, on the way there, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, he was just acting so different. Like he had, like, this shake in his voice. Like, he just looked, like, a lot different, like, scared, like, kind of. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on with this guy? Like, is he on coke or something? Like, I don't fucking know. But, like, the whole way there, he, like, wouldn't stop looking at me. He was like, oh my god, like, you're so beautiful. Like, I can't believe you're in my car right now. And I'm like, thank you. Like, but, like, it was excessive. Like, he just kept saying it, like, over and over and over. And, like, it started to make me really fucking uncomfortable. Like, really uncomfortable. Like, he was just like, your eyes, like, they're just so beautiful. Like, your teeth are so beautiful. Like, do the dentist, like, compliment your teeth a lot? And I'm like, what the fuck? Then we end up getting to his condo in New York, and I'm not even gonna lie, like, it was probably, like, the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. Like, oh my god, it was just, like, straight out of a movie. Like, I was like, I'm in heaven. Like, oh my gosh. Then we ended up getting to his condo, and after we got settled and everything, he took me to this very, very nice steak dinner. Like, very romantic. Like, I gotta fix that. Anyways, on this date, it was way creepier than the previous one we went on. He just started talking about, like, a lot of personal things about me that literally only my closest friends know. And I'm just like, how does he know this stuff? Like, this is creeping me the fuck out. So I'm sitting here texting my cousin, and I'm like, dude, like, I don't know, like, what's going on. Like, I don't know how he knows all this stuff, but, like, you might need to come pick me up. Like, this is honestly, like, a really scary situation I'm in right now. And then we end up going back to his condo, and we're just laying on the couch, like, cuddling, watching a movie. And he then says, so how do you like your new home so far? And I'm like, what? And then I kind of just, like, laughed it off, but in my head I was scared as fuck. And he was just like, oh my god, like, it literally sends chills down my spine. And then after I laughed, this man's whole demeanor, like, flipped. He was just went from, like, a soft, like gaze to, like, a creepy fucking weirdo, like, gaze. He was like, why are you laughing? And I'm like, I don't know. And then he just started talking about, like, oh, like, you're gonna move in here with me, like, we're gonna raise our kids. And I'm like, I already told you, like, I am not looking for that kind of thing right now. Like, it's too much for me. And he's like, I don't care, like, I brought you here, like, you're gonna stay here with me, like, while I do business, like, you're not leaving. And then at this point I was like, okay, like, I need to leave. Like, this guy's a fucking creep. I'm, like, texting my cousin. I'm like, you need to, like, come pick me up right now. Like, you need to fucking drive to New York and pick me up. Like, this is scary. Like, I don't know how he knows, like, all this information about me. Like, and, like, the things he's saying to me, like he's gonna try to keep me fucking held hostage here. Like, you need to come pick me up right now. Like, I'm scared. So obviously she comes and picks me up, but I was like, okay, well, honestly, you're making me super uncomfortable, so I'm leaving. Like, my cousin's coming to pick me up. He's like, you're not fucking leaving. Like, I drove all the way to your house and I picked you up and I brought you here. You're gonna stay here with me. Like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, like, no, I'm leaving. And then I started running out of his condo. I'm like, I'm leaving. Like, this is scary. Like, he literally starts fucking running after me. Like, he starts running after me. And I'm like, unfortunately, I have no time left. So let me know if you guys want a part 2.
Story time of why I will literally not be nice to anyone ever again. Unless you, like, know them really well, people will take advantage of you, and this happened to me a few months ago. I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about it, but I'm tired of taking into account people's feelings that I do not care about anymore. Like, you disrespected me. Why would I show you respect by not doing a story time on you? Anyway, so there's this girl that I was briefly friends with for a while. We kind of connected just through Instagram. Like, she kind of did social media as well. And I kind of love it when people are super passionate about those things. Like, I want to help them out, even though she was like a much smaller creator. I love ambitious people and I want to be around people that are ambitious like that. And we got along really well over text. So we met up a few times, and like, she's a very over the top person. So definitely not someone that I could picture myself hanging out with consistently, because it would just be too draining for me. Like, she was fun in doses, like once in a while. I met her family too, and they were so nice, so sweet. Like, yeah, so we were friends, but we weren't like super close. Like, she wasn't my number one bestie. But I think I was for her, maybe. Anyway, so we haven't talked for a very long time, and then I randomly get a call from her, and she's like crying and screaming. She's like, oh my god, I'm getting kicked out. Like, you have to help me. She's like, my parents are kicking me out because I have an OnlyFans. Like, I'm sorry, what? Anyway, so she's basically saying she's getting kicked out and she needs me to come pick her up, and she lives so far away. She lives like 30 minutes away, but obviously I don't want to be a shitty person, and like, I'm a yes man. Like, I will do anything for people. And I'm like, okay, so I come pick her up, and I'm assuming that she's gonna go and live at her man's house, because I really don't want her living with me, because I don't, like, I only have my room in my place right now. It's not like I have a spare bedroom. Like, she would have to stay with me in my room, and I hate people. Like, I like being alone. So anyways, I'm kind of suggesting in the car when I pick her up, hey, maybe you should like go to your man's house. And she's like, no, like, would I be able to just stay at your place for a little bit while I like figure things out? And I'm like, you know what, it's fine. You can stay for like 2 days. Like, I'm a busy person and I have things to do, and I can't really focus when like I have someone around me. And tell me why, like, I look at her Instagram story after, and she's like posting about how she's moving to California. Like, what? Like, this girl was crying to me about how she's getting kicked out and she's so upset, but she's posting on her Instagram story that with her luggage, oh my god, moving to LA. Like, what? Crazy vibes, guys. Literally crazy. Anyway, so she shows up to my house, gets herself real comfortable, sits at this makeup table that I'm sitting at right here. She's like, can I use your makeup? And I'm like, sure. So she's sitting there calling people, doing her makeup for like 4 hours straight. I'm sitting there in my bed trying to do my work, and she's playing her music out loud or calling people. Even her friends were like, what are you doing? You're so disrespectful. Why are you sitting at someone's makeup desk right now and like blasting music? Check out part 2. It gets a lot worse.
My prom date ditched me without telling me. So there's 2 main people you need to know to get this story. First, there's a guy, let's call him Ethan. And there's a girl, let's call her Claire. So me and Ethan have known each other for a long time. We were never really friends. We never knew each other that well, but we had been snapping for a long time. And recently, me and Ethan had been snapping, like, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, we were, like, snapping, right? So one Friday night, he's like, hey, like, I'm having a party tonight. You trying to come? Of course, me. Obviously, I'm going to say yes. I mean, this boy, like, Ethan, he's so attractive, guys. Like, I think he's gorgeous. I always will. He is a grade younger, though. And I'm a senior in high school, which makes him a junior. But whatever. I was like, okay, yes. Like, I'm coming. Like, I'll be there. I get a ride from my friend Maddie. We have the same name, so, like, twins. I'm rooming with her next year. She takes me to this party. Me and Ethan talk a little bit here and there, but I'm not really talking to him that much. However, he ended up giving me a ride home, and he was like, if you ever want to, like, hang out, like, text me. So the next couple days go by, he texts me, what you doing, like, want to do something tonight? I'm pretty sure we just got Chipotle. And then I ended up going back to his house, and his family was talking to me and all this stuff, but, like, they were giving me, like, relationship vibes, and, like, guys, like, I don't want that. Like, I just got out of a relationship a couple months ago. I'm not looking for anything like that. But I was like, okay, whatever. Like, it's chill. Like, I'm sure that's not what he wants either. He also got out of a relationship recently, and a lot sooner than I did. But it was fine. We had fun. We hung out again, I think 2 more times. Then, this one night, I was about to leave. He was driving me home, and he kissed me goodbye. It was a really good kiss, actually. A very good kisser. Good for him. Okay. And just to escalate things a little bit more, Take My Breath Away was playing. Like, it was like a movie scene. Like, I don't know what was going on. My arms, You're so tired. But it was like, the scene was set, okay? The scene was set, let me tell you that. The next day, this boy, Ethan, doesn't respond for a long time. Mind you, in these few couple days that we've been hanging out, we decided that we were going to prom together. We had decided that we were going to prom together. We pinky promised that we would not cancel and that we were going. Like, we were locked into prom, okay? He didn't have a date, I didn't have a date. Like, we were going to prom together. Pinky promised twice. You don't break pinky promises, like, unless you're, like, insane. You don't break a pinky promise. But whatever. Anyway, the day after the kiss, he wasn't responding the entire day. Nothing. No text. I think I was undelivered for, like, 20 hours when I finally got a response. It was dry, whatever. So a couple days go by, we're barely snapping. I'm like, okay, like, this boy, like, where is he at? Like, what's he doing? I start to get texts from my friends. They're all like, Ethan is going to prom with Claire. Claire is a very pretty girl who goes to another school. My response obviously was, no, he's not. I'm going to prom with Ethan. I'd been going around saying that I was going to prom with Ethan. Ethan was going around saying that he was going to prom with Claire. But the only person that Ethan did not say or did not tell he was going to prom with Claire was to me. Ethan was not going to inform me that he was going to prom with another girl. Everybody else knew, except for me. Sometimes I genuinely do not understand what goes through guys' heads. And I don't think they do either. So finally I text Ethan. I say, WTF, you're going to prom with Claire? He doesn't respond for hours. The end of the day comes. I get a, yeah, but there's more than that. Like, I'm listening. So I said, okay, I'm listening. Again, a whole another night, a whole another day goes by. End of the next day, he responds. This whole paragraph about how it was just too stressful with me and he thought that I wanted a relationship, and I had to stop him right there. I did not want a relationship with a junior. I don't want a relationship with anybody, but especially not a junior. And I told him that his ego was way too high because not every girl wants him. Boys need to be humbled. Why do we not tell them this more often? Not every girl you talk to wants you. Yeah, you're cute. Yeah, you're cute. I'll give you that. You were sweet while we were talking. But that doesn't mean I want to date you. That's not what that means. I'm going to college in a couple months. And you're going to be in high school. I do not want you. But you don't cancel prom. And if you're going to cancel prom, maybe tell the girl that you're supposed to go with that you're canceling. Just a little bit of advice.
Story time on how these kids got caught doing the boombayah in my school bathroom. Okay, so boom, this all started literally yesterday. I was in my class, sitting, being a normal student. Well, in this class, this is my third period, and we just got back from lunch, whatever, just cool. I sit next to these two people for obvious reasons. I'm not gonna name drop, but their names are, for this story time, Zay and Bay. Okay, so basically, Bay, she's this girl that sits next to me in my third period, and she's just a quiet girl. She'd be reading some freaky books though, Icebreaker, those type of books, like, those are the books she'd be reading. She's like, I guess, mysterious, like, I don't like to use that word, but like, yeah. Because anytime I ask her any questions about her in her, like, relationship, because she's dating Zay, the guy that actually she used to sit next to, but she had to get moved because they kept on making out in front of the whole class. Mind you, we sit in the front. But she still sits next to her man or whatever, so they have, it's not a far distance, it's like just one seat gap in between them. So they can talk perfectly fine together. We were going over some, like, slides and stuff in, that class, and while we were going over the slides, Zay decides to go up and go get the boys' bathroom pass, and, like, as one would, you go get the boys' bathroom pass if you want to use the bathroom. So he goes to use the bathroom, and a little bit, like, 15 seconds later, Bay is getting up and she's getting the girls' bathroom pass. Although they literally sit next to me, I wasn't really peeping the fact that, like, oh wait, they're both going to the bathroom at the same time. And they're dating. And clearly they're comfortable to do whatever at school if you're giving the whole class a show with your makeout session. So, like, nobody's really thinking about, like, oh wait, they just, like, low-key, went. My friend was the reason why I low-key peeped the fact that they went. She was like, Janae, blah, blah, blah. But to be honest, I didn't really care because I was just trying to pay attention. Like, I should have been, like, they should have been. And also, I wasn't really trying to jump to any conclusions, but silly me, I should have. When I get to one of my classes, someone tells me that they were in the bathroom when Zay was in the bathroom. And that might not seem like a problem, but it is. By the way, just to get this clear, this is happening in the boys' bathroom. So Zay comes in and he's like, he asks my friend if he can leave because he's about to do something with his girl. What? I'm sorry, but, like, I'm a little taken aback. Like, you're asking somebody that was already in the bathroom to leave so you can do something with your girl. Okay. Just okay, I guess. So the person told me this, they said that they left the bathroom and, now Zay and Bay are both in the same stall. They're in the bathroom, they alone. But, my friend, he obviously was lying. He came back, bro. He came back inside the bathroom just after he left. Because one thing about it, you're not about to tell somebody to get out the bathroom and expect them to actually get out the bathroom, especially when you say all that. I'm about to do something with my girl. And a few things he heard when he went back in there were said. Of course there was noises. If you put two together, I hope you can assume what Zay and Bay were doing in the stall. But if you haven't, let's just say Zay and Bay were cracking in the bathroom. And before I get anywhere farther, one of the things Zay said to her before, he started doing, he says, "Sorry, it's small. I'm not blank right now." I'm not gonna say it, but I'll put it. I'm gonna just let that sink in real quick. So later that day, I go tell my friend about this new learned information, so I could tell her that's what they were doing in the bathroom, because we were gonna ask him right after class ended, but we just didn't get the chance. But now with this newfound information, I told her. So next day comes forward. Today, I go in the classroom and everyone is talking about it. I came a little bit early, so majority of the class was there, but majority of it was talking about it. So I sit down, and mind you, in this class, Zay sits right in front of me, but everybody's talking about it. By the way, the friend I told this information to was in there. So I'm assuming she told everybody what I said. So now Zay is slowly turning towards me, and he starts staring at me with the most unsettling face ever, bro. So now everybody's trolling him the whole entire morning for cracking someone in the bathroom. So now skip forward to when I get to my third period or whatever. I don't think they're gonna do it again. Because mind you, they did it in the third period yesterday. Why would they do it today? Especially after how much he got trolled for it. But it seems like he didn't learn his lesson, because next thing you know, he's going to reach for the boys' pass and he leaves, and so does And one of the people that wasn't there when everybody was trolling him in the morning when I got there, sat next to me, so I was telling her about it. So I told her, and she was like, "Oh wait, I should snitch." And people were telling her not to. But the only reason why she would snitch is because she doesn't like him. She doesn't like Zay. They already had their own issues from the beginning of the year and probably prior to that. But she decides not to. But now everybody's curious. Everyone's starting to peep the fact that they're both gone again after what happened yesterday. So somebody goes out there and they sneak out, since the boys' pass is already gone. So they sneak out and go to the bathroom. They basically just saw them in the same stall again. Clearly he didn't learn his lesson. He got away with it yesterday, and he probably thought he was gonna get away with it today, but he didn't. The bathroom and our classroom door is literally right next to each other, because there's two doors in the classroom. So now everyone is going to get tissues and pretending to blow their nose outside the door, because they're trying to see what's going on. So eventually the teacher gets up, because a lot of people are starting to get up, go to the door, and try to see what's happening. There's actually people outside the classroom, not from my class, but other people from other classes, and they were doing classwork outside. So they were doing the classwork right next to the bathroom, and those people saw Bay and Zay go into the same boys' bathroom, because mind you, Bay is a girl, remember, and Zay is a boy, so it's kind of weird. What? I don't know why I said kinda. It is weird. And they start talking about it, and the teacher overhears that, and she's like, "What?" Because she was already looking for the girls' bathroom, because they've been gone for maybe 2-3 minutes. So the teacher goes into the girls' bathroom, and she sees that Bay's not there, so where could she be? And people were already saying stuff she's in the boys' bathroom, blah blah blah. So now the teacher, she's going into the boys' bathroom to go check, and eventually after she already peeped the fact that they're both in the same stall. Eventually Zay comes out of this stall, and he's leaned up on the door, and he looks mad and whatever, as if it's not his fault. Why are we all what? Bay is literally scared, because mind you, she's the quiet kid. She just doesn't look like she's someone that gets in trouble, But remember, she do be reading them freaky books, so maybe she was trying to recreate some of those things she saw in the book. Trying to create Icebreaker too. And since Bay's too scared to come out, the teacher asks one of the students to go call admin, and admin does come, aka the principal. I don't know how he does it, but he ends up making her come out. Now she's leaned up on the locker, is literally crying. A little bit before we even peeped that Bay was crying, Zay came to the door frame, and the principal was trying to pull him away, because I don't know, he was low-key crashing out. He literally started crashing out. He was
"Who ratted me out? Who ratted me out?"
Eventually the principal was able to pull him away or whatever, and that was the end of that. But for all I know, they're probably suspended now. Well, they should be. But for all I know, they're either suspended or whatever happened to them. Maybe even sent to alternative school. But hopefully it was worth it wanting to clap some cheeks in a public school bathroom. Especially in the grade that we're in, I know nobody should be doing that. Even whatever grade you're in, you should not be doing it in a bathroom. Or especially in our grade at all. Moral of the story, do not be doing the bumbaya in school bathrooms or any type of bathroom. Honestly, that should be common sense though, so it's not even a moral of the story, that's common sense. But I guess common sense isn't so common, so, gotta let people catch up. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching my story time, and bye-bye.
Story time on my talking stage that ended last night. So I feel really stupid about this whole situation, because I've literally known this guy for 3 weeks, and why am I crashing out over it? Basically, I've known this guy for 3 weeks, but in that time I've hung out with him almost every single day. He asks me to hang out every day, but we do every time that I'm actually able to, or we did. So this dude was spending all his time with me. He met my family. He got me stuff for my birthday. He bought me flowers. They're literally right there. They're running out of water, but I think I'm just not gonna replace it and let them die. Also, keep in mind, my birthday was 5 days ago, not even a week. At the time of this story, which was yesterday, my birthday was 4 days ago. So this was 4 days after he did all that for me and hung out with me and my family on my birthday. So basically he told me literally last week, not even a week ago, that he's never speaking to his ex again, and he hates her and he's done with her, and he only wants me and he wants a relationship with me, all this stuff. And then I get a text from him yesterday that he misses his ex so much that he can't move on. Mind you, when I first started talking to this guy, he told me
that he thought I wasn't over my exes. Hello? So I don't even want to read what he said. I have a screenshot of it, but it was a whole thing, and honestly, I wish he just said he's not over his ex, because that would have been so much better than him pouring his heart out about how he cries because he misses her every day, and he loves her, and he can't do anything without her, and he can't go a day without thinking about her and crying over her, and that he was sobbing over her on the phone with her as he was texting me that. Honestly, I would rather get lied to than that, like every other guy, and like he had been lying to me before, because that was like a freaking knife in my heart. You do not need to go into detail about how in love you are with another girl that you cry after I let you meet my family. And I also found out that one night he hung out with me and literally went and hung out with her right after, and he still had the audacity to call me the next morning like that didn't happen and ask me to hang out with him again that day. And the day he told me that he wanted me, he like hiked a mountain with her and was like holding hands with her. So I blocked him on Snapchat because that's where we would like mostly text, but if he wants to reach me, he can text me on literally anything else, but I doubt he will, because literally why would he? He clearly doesn't care about me at all. And he follows his account and stalks it like every day. He would just send me my TikToks like all the time and tell me which ones he was watching and how much he loved watching them, because he just loved listening to me talk. So I don't know if he's seeing this one or if he's still even gonna follow this account anymore. But yeah, I don't really care if he sees it. Like, he probably expects this video to be coming. So I don't have a prom date now. Unless he still wants to go with me, honestly, I would still go with him because he's freaking 6'4". But yeah, I don't know why he would want to go with me still. I'm just stupid. And I fall for guys that I know are bad. And I just do it to myself. Like, I know I could have walked away sooner when I saw the obvious signs that he was still talking to his ex, but no, I'm stupid, and I was like, no, I'm gonna believe him. No, just don't. Anyways, I'm gonna try to focus on myself today, no more crying over boys. I went to bed at like 3:30 last night, crying, but not today. Today's a new day. We're gonna be happy, we're gonna be positive, we're gonna focus on ourselves and move on with our lives, because we don't need negative energy. Thanks for watching, bye.
Story time of the time my entire high school saw my boobs and a video of me in the shower that I had no idea existed. So that I do not get sued, I will be changing names from the story, but some of you weird fuckers who did this to me in high school follow me, so I hope that made your stomach drop. I do unfortunately have to give a trigger warning for child corn. If you understand what I'm saying, I was underage when this happened to me. This all started my 8th grade year at my first year ever in public school on New Year's Eve. I was with 4 of my closest girlfriends, but only one of them needs to really be talked about during this story. We are going to call her Ella. So at the end of the night rolls around, we were all having a good time, and I go to take a shower, which I feel like is a pretty normal thing to do. So now we're gonna skip ahead a year to my freshman year of high school. Like I said, that was in 8th grade. This will make sense in a second. So it's my freshman year, it's right at the beginning of the school year. I'm pretty petrified, as I feel like most freshmen in high school are. I had just made like the varsity cheerleading team. I was trying to make friends. It was very overwhelming, like for that age. Cheer practice one day, it's one of our first practices of the season. And one of my teammates comes up to me, and I will forever love her for letting me know before somebody else did. And she's like, Kendall, this is gonna, like, why is there a video of you going around of you in the shower? And I'm like, what do you mean? I've never taken a video of myself in the shower. I was like 15 at the time. I just remember looking at her and my heart dropping and being like, what are you talking about? There's no way. It can't be me. This must be someone else. And she was like, no, Kendall, like, I'm 100% it was you. We were at my birthday dinner last night, and one of the boys that was sitting at the table with us airdropped it to the entire table at Chili's. This is where it all started. I didn't really know what to do at this point. I was petrified of my coach finding out, of my mom. I'm like flipping through every file in my head. I'm like, did I do that? But like, why would I do that? I was so fucking confused. Still being extremely confused. I didn't want to like lose my place on this team. I continued on with practice, went about my day until the next day at school. I remember sitting in class. It was a normal day. I was trying not to think about it too much because I was like, she has to have me confused with someone else. There's no way that it's me. That would be until every single person who had their airdrop on in the classroom got an airdrop except for me, and the entire class just turned around and just fucking stared at me, and I knew exactly what was going on. And I have never been so I still sweat to this day talking about it. I remember not asking the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, anything. I just ran out of the room, ran to the bathroom, and I remember sitting on the bathroom floor just absolutely sobbing, and I'm pretty positive that I stayed there for the rest of the day on the bathroom floor. So I left school that day. It was at this point where I just started getting absolutely bombarded with texts from my friends, people that I wasn't really friends with, and I didn't know what to do because I had never seen this video. I didn't remember taking this video. I was convinced that there was just no way it was me. It had to be someone else. I truly don't think I've ever been so confused in a situation still to this day in my entire life. So the next day at school, I'm sitting at lunch and I didn't even want to be there. I was begging my mom not to make me go to school. She's like, why do you not want to go to school? Like, what's wrong with you? You have to go to cheer, like blah, blah, blah. And this video gets airdropped in the school cafeteria. And this is when things really, if you didn't think they were going downhill already, this is where it starts to go downhill. Again, I run out of the room and I go and I sit on the bathroom floor at my school and just sob for the rest of the day until cheer practice. And this is the day where I knew that it was just getting bad and that everything was kind of about to go to shit. And this was when my cheer coach pulled me aside at practice and was like, why am I having so many people come to me telling you that there's a video of you naked in the shower? Also, still at this point, I had still never seen this video. Nobody would show it to me. It was like people were being so mean about it that they just liked it, that they could see it and like hold it over my head and not have me see it. Like I had no idea still. I was still fucking confused. So at this point, I just absolutely break down to my cheer coach. I still love and talk to her to this day. And she sent me home, and at that point I was like, I think I need to tell my mom because I honest to God don't ever remember taking this video. I like need to tell somebody what's going on because this is like not okay. Another thing that I forgot to mention that happened to me is the day when I left the cafeteria and I was running to the bathroom, there was a boy who was a couple years older than me and he had a bottle of water in his hand and he threw water at me and asked if I needed to go take a shower. And like it was just so bad. And so when my mom came and picked me up, I had a mental breakdown and she didn't let me like go to school for a few days until we figured out what was going on or like what to do. At this point I did know who was spreading the video the most. It was it was like a guy I had like talked to in like literally the 8th grade, and then another one was a guy that I like was very involved with from the 8th grade, like really all throughout high school because I'm that fucking stupid. I forgave him for all of this. Like I am so mentally ill it hurts. So the only thing that my mom and I really knew to do at this point was to just go to the school and see if like the principal or someone on the board, like, and this, as you can imagine, is so mortifying to go to the board about this. But we hadn't seen the video. We didn't know if it was actually me or not in it. Like, we didn't know what to do. At this point, I just wanted to move like out of state. Like I was like, I want to switch schools. I was so fucking mortified and embarrassed without even seeing the video that you just wait. So my mom calls the principal, and surely enough, when she gets on the phone with him, he happens to tell her, oh my goodness, I was gonna call you at the end of the day today. I needed to talk to you about this. Like it had already made its way to him. Like everyone knew about this. I swear to God, everyone. He had another parent, I don't know who, send it to him, and so now I'm mortified that the principal has either seen my boobs or like some other girl's boobs that I don't fucking know. So we go in for a meeting at the school with the principal, some people from the board, like the superintendent, the lady at the front desk for some reason, the security guard that was like always outside the front door of our high school, my mom and I, like so many people in this fucking room. And keep in mind, I still had not seen this fucking video. So we're in this meeting and they start playing the video and I immediately knew what was going on. Every single puzzle piece connected in my head in that moment and I just broke down sobbing. So remember at the beginning of the video when I told you I had those 4 girlfriends, New Year's Eve, I took a shower at the end of the night? One of those weird ass bitches, what did I call her? Ella, I think? She decided to like stick her phone above the shower curtain and take a video of me showering, held on to that video for 7 or 8 months, and then one day on like a random fucking school day just decided to just blast it everywhere, send it to one of my ex-boyfriends. He's the one who like airdropped it at Chili's. Like everything made sense, and I have never been so angry and like felt so upset at like so many people in my life. Also, mind you, there was nothing that happened between me and Ella. We were fine. We were literally still friends whenever this video started going around. Oh shit, hang on. So I will forever think she is like one of the absolute weirdest people I've ever met in my entire life for this. So at this point I had 2 options, either deal with it or I could press charges, but here was the gag about that. If I pressed charges on Ella, I had to press charges on my ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend that I had talked to in the 8th grade, everyone who airdropped it, everyone who was like, I was gonna have to press charges against like upwards of like 10 to 15 15-year-olds. Like, I just didn't want to put people on a sex offender list at that early on in your life. Like, I couldn't do it, so I didn't press charges. So that's pretty much all that happened. I just kind of decided to suck it up and leave it alone. After I understood what the video was and what was happening, that was when I could, you know, go to people and be like, hey, like, actually this is what happened, like, she's a fucking weirdo. And she ended up, I want to say, either like moving like a lot of counties away, or like moving out of state or something, but like the tables completely turned. But people still are weird about it to me, which is just bizarre. I unfortunately couldn't, you know, go to everyone who had seen that video because it was literally hundreds of people. And, you know, tell my side of the story and like, hey, like, I didn't do that on purpose. Like, I never knew that was taken. And I was also 15 in that video. So I shit you not, one of the last times I was home in Georgia, I was out at an Athens bar, and a guy who I did not even know, he apparently went to a surrounding high school of mine, came up to me and was like, yo, I remember that video of you in the shower, like, when we were in high school. And I just looked at him and was like, you're a fucking weirdo, because I was 15 years old and I have never seen a man look so stunned, but like that, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And like, what a weird conversation starter. Sorry, I know this video is kind of long, but I think my point with all this is, if you've ever had something like this happen to you, know that it's not just you, it's not your fault, it's humiliating, but it's not really something to be humiliated about. It wasn't your fault. It's gonna be okay, I promise. I live a very happy, fulfilling life now. This does not haunt me anymore the way that it used to. You're gonna be okay. If you do like longer story times, I have a very unfortunate amount of stories, not maybe as bad as this, but things similar. If you want me to talk about them, high school is a shit show, and if you're in high school, I can be like your high school big sister or something, I don't know. Anyways, come back to part 2 for the dinner outfit. Love you, bye.